back again with another cooking episode. Today I'll be making salmon with olive oil pasta, asparagus, and some yellow rice. Let's get started and I'll show you how to do everything. The first thing I'm going to do is I already cut up my salmon into the size of the pieces I want them. And I went ahead and I put some slits into it because that's where I'm going to put the seasoning. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these lemons I already cut, squeeze that all over those salmons. Just let that sit, and we're going to let that sit for while I do the seasoning. Okay, now, this is a Guyanese seasoning. This is cilantro, garlic, habanero pepper. I'm going to go ahead and chop it all up. This is hard work here. If you prefer, you could always put it in your food processor or your blender. I just don't like mine so moist, soft and gushy. So I chop it fresh every time I make it. I like to use a lot of fresh ingredients in my stuff when I cook with it. This makes the food taste a whole lot better. This knife's not working so good for me. So, we'll go back to my other knife. Now that's diced up to my liking. Some people might like it's finer than this, way more crushed up than this. Use a food processor, a blender. I like mine like that, so that's as much as I'm going to cut that. Next thing I'm going to do, bring the salmon over here. Because you see how it's already starting to change colors? Because you can't let the lemon sit on it too long. So I'll take cold water and I'll wash them all. Okay, come back over here now. See better there. Okay, now we're gonna season it. I'm gonna use some garlic powder, but I pick up each one individually. If you notice the skin is cut off the back of mine, I don't like the skin. So I always have them cut the back of it off for me. Okay, so we have the garlic powder. I'm going to use some garlic and herb seasoning as well. It's all about... But I don't sprinkle too much of this, because I don't want it to overpower it. But I always make sure it gets into those slits So that way your salmon, every time you bite into it a piece, you're getting all your flavors. The next thing I'll use is some adobo. I'll sprinkle that. That way it has salt. Okay, then I'm going to use some all-purpose seasoning. I'm just going to do like this with it. Okay, let me wash my hand real quick. Next thing I'll do is this a seasoning blend that I have that has all kinds of seasons in it. Cayenne pepper, chili powder, just to give it a hint, like a little hint of spice to it. But I don't put too much. Okay, so we have that. Now, this is where my fresh cut up seasoning goes. This is how I do it. Take some. Now remember the slits that I put into this? I stuff it like that. Just stuff that. Next one. Yeah, remember, this is Guyanese style salmon I'm making here. So I'm putting some in every single slit that I did. This seasoning here gives the salmon, when you cook it, such a good, light, fresh seasoning to it. It's quite delicious. Okay, so I don't need to use all that. So what I'll do with the rest of that is I'll just put it into a bowl and I'll save it for another day. When I'm making some chicken or something, I'll use that for it. Okay? So now we have that seasoned up. We're gonna go ahead and lemon it again. Let me just get the seeds out. Fish. Okay, so that's all ready. I'm gonna let this sit for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna put it over here. I'm also making a seared chicken breast because my son's girlfriend does not eat fish, so I'm doing some seared chicken breast for her. I seasoned that and I marinated it down with some Wichita sauce, some garlic powder, herbs and garlic and all those good things. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this to it because this also has slits in it to make it the flavor sink in, but not too much, just a little bit. And I add that to that too. So I'm just going to let these two sit over here and get marinated. Okay? So I'm making an olive oil pasta and I'm also making a little bit of yellow rice. So the first I'm going to show you is the olive oil pasta. Don't show. Okay, so I'm making the olive oil pasta. So I'm going to go ahead and add my water and stuff. 2 cups of water. And five things of the 1/4. So two whole cups and 5 of the 1/4. Bring it back over here. Put that back on the stove. I'm going to add my olive oil. That's about a tablespoon and a half to that. I also like to add butter to mine. 2 spoons of butter to mine as well. Now, in this pot, I'm going to be making yellow rice. How many of these is it? 2/3. 1 cup and 2 things of the 1/4. Okay. With that, I'm also going to add some butter to this yellow rice as well. A tablespoon. Mix that up so I can get nice and melted. Let's check on the olive oil pasta one. That's getting nice and hot too. Let me grab some foil paper real quick. Yellow rice. I always foil paper it because it makes it more fluffy and makes it cook better. So I'm going to stir that up. Right now the heat is on high, so this can start to bubble first. I'll stir it for a minute. Let all the butter get in it. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. Then I'll go ahead and I'll turn the stove all the way down on 4. Between medium and low. Because you don't want it to cook too quickly and get the water out, and then the rice is not cooked and it has grains in it. So I always turn my stove down. I'll stir it for a few more seconds. Then I'll cover it with a foil paper to lock in that steam. And then I will cover it with the lid, so that steam really gets locked in there. And then I'll just leave that to cook. Now with the olive oil pasta, the water's boiling, so we'll go ahead and add our pasta in there. I want the pasta to stick together and get clumpy, so I always do this here, you know, mix it up, because you don't want it to stick together and be one big clump of pasta. That's never fun. Okay. Now that's loosened up. I'll go ahead and add my seasoning to that. And I'll mix that all up. Mix it up, mix it up. That's nice and good. So then I'll turn it from high to medium high. And I'll just cover that and I'll leave that. So the olive oil pasta is cooking, the yellow rice is cooking, and we have over here our salmon marinating and our chicken breast marinating. Okay guys, let's go ahead and check on the pasta, the olive oil pasta and the yellow rice. They should be done by now. They've both been on about 15 minutes. Look at the pasta, nice and good. Smells yummy. So I'm going to give that a stir. Turn the stove off on that. I'm going to cover it back because that's done. Put it on my warmer thing here. Let's check the rice. Rice is fluffing good. Let's just make sure it's done. Still a little grainy. So I'm going to leave that for another 5 minutes. Cover that back, put it there. And I'll leave that for an extra 5 minutes because it's still a little grainy. What we're going to do now is our... Okay, so we're going to get ready to start the salmon now. It's been marinating for 15 minutes. I'm just drying out the pan. Make sure there's no water in it. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to let that warm up. Okay guys, so my oil's in there. It's now warm where I need it to be, perfect temperature. I'm going to go ahead and grab my marinated salmon. Doesn't have enough oil. Okay, so I'll put those 2 on. And then I'll cover it because I want it to steam and cook inside of the salmon and not just the outside part. But while that's doing that, the salmon is, I just put it in there. It's on a medium high. I cook it on each side for anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. So that's already been on there about a minute. So what I do when it's already been on about a minute, I like to open it up. And I like to add a little butter. I also put a little bit on the top. And then I'm also going to squeeze lemon on it again. I haven't flipped it yet. All I've done so far is put in the butter, put some on the fish. Now I'm going to squeeze some more lemon on the fish. Then I'm going to do like this. So I know those flavors are getting everywhere. And then that's been cooking on that side for about 3 minutes. So I'm going to flip it. I'll cover it again and let it keep cooking for another 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, so this has been cooking for about 3 minutes on this side now. I like mine to get like a little glaze and a little like crispiness around the edges. So I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. While that cooks, we'll check the rice again. And that is done. So my olive oil pasta and my rice is finished. Okay, because see now this is I turned up the stove a little higher because I do want my salmon to get like a little color on it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it again. See how it's getting that beautiful color on top? I got that beautiful color coming. I'm going to get some crisp to the end of it. The seasoning's still inside the little slits that I made. Just letting it get a little bit more color. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take this off. Let me show you. Try not to break it. That one just did. I hate when they break. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this back to the stove. Gonna add a little bit more butter to it. Bring up all those flavors from the bottom of the pan. Just a dab of oil. Mix it up so all those flavors are coming up. Turn your stove back down again. And then you're going to go ahead and add in your last 2 pieces of salmon. What I like to do is just scrape my seasoning and my lemon and all that right into the pot. So I'll go ahead and cover that. Okay, so the salmon is cooking like I said. I put that in there. Gonna add the butter again like I did. Here's the lemon. This all get mixed in. I have this pot on here. It's already on hot. It's already hot. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to turn it on medium. And this is a chicken breast I marinated earlier for my son's girlfriend. Okay, and we're just gonna let that simmer like that. It's cooking, but I'm gonna sear it. It's gonna end up just being a sear. All this gravy and stuff is gonna go away. Actually, I'm going to leave it uncovered so it cooks better. Now I need a pot for my asparagus. I've already washed my asparagus off. So what I'll do, get them all together, and I'm just going to cut the ends of it off. Hard work here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, add that to my water. Okay. I'm just going to put it to the side for a second while I come back over here. And I check on this salmon, which is looking beautiful. We're going to go ahead and flip it again. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to take these two off. And then I'm going to scrape all these juices. I'm just going to pour it right over my salmon. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is, because this asparagus is not fitting in here, I'm going to transfer it to a different pot. But I'm going to have to add more water to it. Because what I'm doing here is just steaming them a little bit. Just so they can get steamed a little bit. I let it steam for about 5 to 7 minutes on high. But you'll see I'll turn the stove on high. Sit that there. Looking beautiful, all done. Now if you come over here, the chicken breast has already been cooking about 5 minutes on that side. So I want to turn it. See that beautiful color? So I'm going to turn it. I know by it having those slits in it as well, I know it's getting to cook all the way through. So I'm going to turn that. Asparagus is on. Okay, so chicken breast is cooking. I'm going to flip it again. So I just want to make sure it's cooked all the way through. Just to be sure. Nice and tender. No pink in it. So I'm going to give that 5 more minutes. While that's still doing 5 more minutes, this is done. I just wanted to steam it for a few minutes. So let's go ahead and get that water out of that. Okay. Okay, so I bring that back over there. Still on high. What I'm going to do is the asparagus is in here. Before I put anything else in it, I'm going to add some fresh garlic. reason I add the fresh garlic without adding anything else is so that garlic can now brown and bring out its flavors into the asparagus before I add anything else to it. Smells delicious. Again, my stove is still on high. Let's let that cook. This chicken breast is done. So I'm going to take it off the stove. Place it there. And I'm going to soak that hot. Turn that stove off. Chicken breast is done. Now that this has been sitting over here for that garlic flavor to get in it, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of butter. Okay? Two tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add some garlic and herb seasoning. Some garlic powder. And some adobo. Okay. I'm going to turn the stove down a little bit. And I'm going to mix this all together with the butter, the garlic, the seasoning. And my asparagus is done. And this. Hold on, wait. Guys, this is my finished product of my dinner. This is salmon, Guyanese style, with olive oil pasta, with tomato, cilantro, Parmesan cheese, and freshly made asparagus. Thank you for watching again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you make it for your family. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. But this is my final product of my dinner tonight. It's going to be quite delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!